Galimera, Galimera, Galimera. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and how are we all today? Well, as you can see today, we've got nice, reasonable blue skies, a slight little bit of a mist, some cloud, and it is actually feeling quite warm. There is just a gentle little breeze blowing, but other than that, things are looking good. And we did have a spot of rain yesterday, all for about less than about 2 or 3 seconds. All right, but we did have technically a bit of rain, nothing to worry about in the realms of things. But again, just a start of a nice looking day. Anyway, we look forward to Amanda's in-depth, concise weather forecast a little bit later. Just a quick look round the back of the house, see what the weather's like. Big shout out to Big Al Thompson, who's tuning in at the moment. Nice to see you here, buddy. And looking at the back of the house again, cloudy again. It's blocking the sun a little bit, but it's still quite warm. And yeah, I think we could be in for a very, very pleasant day today. And looking up over the hill towards the Sillevi area where I was yesterday. I had to go get some money out of the cash point yesterday in Sillevi, and it was nice being up there checking out. Also saw Dennis at Magdalena's. He's been busy doing the roof of Magdalena's as well at the moment. A couple of lads up there ripping the roof off and resorting stuff, getting ready for the season when it starts later this year, and hopefully, fingers crossed, everything is going to work out all right. And I've just seen Amanda has put her weather forecast there. Shall I give the weather forecast now? Why not? Let's give the weather forecast now for Amanda. Good morning, Ginge. She says, sunny with some cloud today, cool breeze, high of 18 degrees, will feel like 20. Have a great day. And yes, I will do. And what a great day. Can I just also say a quick hello to Gary Horsfield as well. Gary is celebrating his 60th birthday today. Old RAF Reg buddy, X2 Squadron, and also ex-Queen's Colour Squadron as well. Plus as well, film star extraordinaire. Yeah, when he retired from the Air Force, he basically has become a film extra. And he's done quite a lot of television and movie stuff. I'm always quite surprised where he pops up in the background. But anyway, he's living the dream at the moment. And just to let you know, on my show tomorrow, Gary, I'm going to be sticking your #1 record in the Golden Vault the day that you were born. I haven't checked it yet to see what it is, but it'll be interesting to see what the tune was that you were born to. Can I also say a quick hello to your sister Julie as well, who got in touch with me and said, keep this a big secret, but we want to say a big happy birthday to me brother Gary, all right, on his 60th birthday. So anyway, you have a great day, mate. I know the lads are posting messages of goodwill to you on your Facebook page, and I hope you have a fantastic day. We look forward to see whatever your next production is. Even though there's been a lockdown going on, you still seem to be able to get the odd little bit of work in now and again for the film and television industry. So we shall look forward to seeing you in the background of something else. All right, I've got to be honest, the news today is not good for Zakynthos. So I'm going to quickly get down to it as quickly as I can. I'm going to go through now the COVID infections for the last 24 hours, which in some ways are not good and they're not bad either. So anyway, let's crack on with it. Anyway, as for infections across Greece, I'm afraid they are up from yesterday. Yesterday we had 1,142. Today there's been 1,165 new infections across Greece recorded, bringing the grand total since the pandemic started to 206,281 cases since it started. Also as well, the average age, or the average, sorry, I'll say that again, with the number of males being affected greatly at 51.8%. Now, there's been 4 new cases identified after checks into the country. That is down on the last time I reported to you, where it was 8. However, the thing that is of concern at the moment is the national stats as of yesterday. Now, the national stats reported the following. There were 3 cases in Lefkada. There were no cases in Kefalonia. There were 3 cases in Corfu. And yesterday, the national stats recorded only 2 cases here in Zakynthos. Well, blow me socks, since those stats went up locally as of this morning, we have had 11 new positive cases of coronavirus on the island. Yep, I'm going to go through the list of the 11 people that are affected. The first affected were a 48-year-old woman yesterday morning, followed by a schoolgirl of 14 years of age from the second gymnasium. Later in the day, a 72-year-old man was admitted to the coronavirus clinic for treatment as he was having difficulty with his breathing, and he obviously tested positive or he wouldn't be put into the corona clinic. There was also later in the day a 24-year-old man who had contact with a confirmed case. He tested positive. He's been sent home 14 days quarantine, and his other contacts are being traced. Also later in the day, a 43-year-old man and a 14-year-old student of the second grade of the Katastari High School, they were tested positive with the coronavirus, plus as well the 38-year-old mother of the 14-year-old student from Katastari. She also tested positive as well for coronavirus. All 3 of those have been sent home for home quarantine, and obviously they are obviously having their contacts traced. There was also a 50-year-old woman last night who was diagnosed positive with coronavirus. Not much more information on her. There was also a 45-year-old woman also diagnosed with coronavirus last night as well. And then a 45-year-old man was also diagnosed with coronavirus last night. And the press this morning said that they all had mild symptoms and have been placed under home quarantine for 14 days. And so that brings the total amount of confirmed cases yesterday to 11 confirmed cases here on Zakynthos, which is not looking good for us when we basically want to get out of lockdown at the moment. And this is just playing into the hands for that. Anyway, so far at the moment, Zakynthos this year has had 131 positive cases. And as of this month, doing the maths this morning, I've calculated we've had 33 cases for coronavirus, positive cases of coronavirus here on the island this month. So once again, I think we can sort of kiss goodbye to any coming out of lockdown. It'll be interesting to see if our island status is changed from the slightly light red to the dark red by the end of the week. We will watch and see what happens there. Anyway, going back to the national stats again, deaths are down, thankfully, across Greece at the moment. I did report to you last time of 53 deaths. Well, yesterday on the national stats, there were 39 reported deaths across Greece, bringing the total number of fatalities to the virus now to 6,797. The average age of those people falling victim to it was 79 years of age, and 96% of those people had underlying health problems or were over the age of 70 years of age. And just to put that in context, the average daily death rate in Greece for 2019 was 329 cases a day. As for Zakynthos, so far we still have only had 1 case of a death from coronavirus, and that was in February, and that was a 70-year-old woman who had underlying conditions as well. As for critical cases, unfortunately, they are up at the moment, and they are quite alarmingly up as well. I reported to you yesterday that there were 466 critical cases in ICUs across Greece. Well, now it has risen to 477 critical cases in ICUs across Greece. 320 of those are male, and 157 of those are female. The average age for those people in critical incubation at the moment is 68 years of age, and 86% of those have underlying health issues or are over the age of 70. So there you go. Today's news then, we've had a massive amount of increased positive cases, 11, which the local press here are calling record-breaking numbers. We're going to see how that is going to play out. However, when you look at the other news that's been going on in Zakynthos, and today's news is really going to be focused on Zakynthos at the moment. Zakynthos police arrested a man on Sunday night who was responsible for organising a party in the Laguna area. Now, he was fined €3,000, and the 14 people that attended the party, they were also fined €300 each for breaking the traffic restriction violations, which I think basically is that they were out after the curfew. So somebody else deciding to have a party in Laguna, and they've got booked for it. Obviously, this is Carnival Week. Sunday would have been the Piccolo Carnival, so maybe somebody was taking advantage and thought, well, we'll have a party. No one's going to know. Trust me, the island is too small not to know. Another story, which was the big story yesterday, was the suicide of the 38-year-old Zakynthian woman whose passing has shocked the local community. I remember talking to people yesterday in Sillavi about it. The woman actually ended her life. She had slashed her wrists driving her car. She then drove her car over a cliff, and the car then landed onto a boat that was below the cliff, and obviously the woman was obviously killed in that. Now, the police are still investigating. They believe, and this is the police's wording, not mine, that she was in a highly emotionally charged state. The lady didn't leave a suicide note. However, the police did say that they found a large carving knife inside the car with her personal belongings. Now, more information is coming from the family, who said that according to the information they've given to the police, the woman had gone missing on Friday night and had not been seen. And the family were getting worried about her because they hadn't heard from her, and she had just disappeared on Friday night. You may remember that the woman's body was found on the Sunday morning, early hours of the morning. Supposedly she'd driven through a yard, and this yard up near the Port St Nicholas area around there drove out onto a cliff that led down to a beach below, and her body was found at early morning on the Sunday morning. Anyway, according to the local police, they have also ruled out any foul play or a criminal motive. A forensic report was started on Monday, and the body of the poor unfortunate lady was moved to Patra for an autopsy to be held. Police are hopeful that maybe something might come to light with the autopsy that might shed some light on her death. So at the moment, can I just offer my sincere condolences to the family for their loss at this time, and also just to remind people that in Greece, suicide is looked upon as a kind of a stigma, all right? Although attitudes are now starting to change, mental health awareness is starting to become a little bit more coming to the forefront. But I know the old school feeling with a lot of, especially with the Greek Orthodox Church, is that it's a sin, basically, to take your own life. But anyway, we will wait and see what happens and see how this plays out, and see if any light can be shed on the reasons why this poor unfortunate woman would take her life. Anyway, another interesting story that caught my eye yesterday, which was also in the local press, and it's on a lighter vein, was the promotion and protection of the thermal spring in Xyxkia. I don't know if any of you know about this, but up the north end of the island, on the way towards Port St Nicholas, there's a beach called Xyxkia Beach, which for years has had this wonderful thermal spring there, which gives off the smell of sulphur. People go and rub all the sands and that on their body, get themselves like a free, mud bath treatment, I suppose, way to describe it. Well, there is actually plans now, and in the words of the local authorities here, announcements have been made for the protection of this natural gift on the island, which has never had any official recognition as being a thermal source. Now, it should be noted that the municipal authority has introduced the promotion of the area into its objectives with the local tourist organisations, and a special document now is being raised with the European Union to fund this spring area at a national level. Although in recent months the municipality has made strong moves to identify the thermal spring following a path that had started by many previous administrations here on the island, they are now in the process of drafting a official documents to the Ministry of Tourism for the management of the thermal springs. Now, the ministry is planning a new body here in Greece called the Thermal Sources of Greece SA. Now, the body, when formed, will be responsible for the recognition, the exploitation, I don't like that word, management and concessions of thermal sources, and will specialise in the creation of the investment files for the maximum exploitation, arranging of leases, studies, rebuilds, etc., in order that an investment can be made into those locations. And who knows, we may actually see the thermal spring here on Zakynthos becoming another, it's already a tourist attraction, but I would call it more a kind of a secret tourist attraction, but getting a little bit more of more publicity, plus as well some finance going towards it to improve the location, plus as well putting it up there with the ship, which at the moment is slowly now getting much more organised and much more recognition. Even though it's had a lot of recognition across Greece as another icon for tourism, it has not been well served by the locals here for numerous reasons, and maybe all of that is about to change as well as Zakynthos gets more organised on that front as well. So anyway, we're going to keep an eye on that project, okay, for the actual thermal spa at Xyxkia. And if you ever get a chance to get up there and have a go in the hot sands, take it. You might find you might enjoy it, and you might find it quite beneficial for you as well, especially if you've got a skin condition or something like that. The old sulfur fumes can be quite good for you as well, as long as it's not done in too much, all right? Also, finally, an interesting story from Cyprus. For those people tuning in from Cyprus, you might not be aware of this, but this is what's going on. Now, Cyprus, like Zakynthos and Patra, we celebrate Carnival, or they celebrate Carnival. And I lived in Cyprus for just under 9.5 years, way back. And Carnival there was always a big celebration with the locals. Now, Limassol in Cyprus, which is where the main Carnival festival is held, they've decided that they're organising some events to comply with the restrictions, but to keep the spirit of Carnival alive. Now, the culmination of this is they're going to have a secret outing of the Carnival King. Now, we have that here where we have a Carnival King, and he's normally burned on the last day of Carnival, ceremoniously burned, normally in the square, to say that the carnival is ended and we're going to be ready for the next year. So I'm not sure if they're going to go to the stage of burning their Carnival King like we would do, but the carnival float with the king is going to be out and about in Limassol on the day of Carnival, which should be next Sunday for them, the same as it is for us. And now this is being organised by a city official called Sevi Antopoulou. She's the organiser of it, and she says that they've told the police that this is going to happen. The police are going to be there to make sure that people don't follow the carnival float, and obviously comply with the restrictions that they have in place. And the exact route as well is going to remain a secret, so that obviously people don't turn up, and the police will be there to discourage people from gathering in large numbers. And at the moment, Cyprus is coming for a lot of criticism when it comes to handling demonstrations at the moment. So again, I think the police are trying to redeem themselves over there at the moment. Anyway, she says that the message to all is that we're looking forward to having you back next year. They're talking about Carnival, the Carnival King, because we'll bounce back, she says, stronger than ever. Anyway, so like Zakynthos, Carnival festivals have gone on way back. Again, they take their influence from the Venetian Empire, because the Venetians ran Cyprus for a short time back in the past, and it is a massive tourist thing for Cyprus as well. Limassol hotels are normally completely booked. The restaurants are completely booked out. Just like Greece at the moment, Cyprus is suffering with, obviously, with the COVID infections, etc., and also the closure of business all over, closures of hotels as well. And so, obviously, Carnival for them was also another means of making money before their tourist season would actually technically kick off, even though they have like a 365-day year tourism season with the winter season there, with the Troodos Mountains and the skiing, etc., etc. But it'll be interesting to see if we have a secret carnival thing on Sunday as well, whether our Carnival King might do a little procession somewhere. I'll keep my ear to the ground. If I hear of anything, I'll let you know. Can I just say thank you to Nikki yesterday? She posted up somebody's little bit of civil disobedience. Somebody in their house on the seafront had set a PA system up on the roof of their house. They were blasting out tunes for a few hours last night with coloured lights flashing away, just to remind people that Carnival would be taking part, parties would be taking part. They obviously weren't having a party, they were just playing tunes on a PA with lights are flashing, and I had to laugh. I heard YMCA being played by the village people as one of the tunes. That is not in my playlist for my show on next what is it? Oh, my Beats Anthem show next Friday. I was making that yesterday evening actually, so that is now been sent to Beats Radio, ready to be broadcast. Again, it's an anthem special. My last Anthems Carnival special has just gone up online on Mixcloud last night, so if you want to check that out, please go ahead and check it out. But anyway, that's the news at the moment. I just want to see who's tuning in. Big Al Thompson, Amanda Gregory, thank you for the news, my darling. Big shout out to Sweden, lovely Marie Hadelberg there tuning in. Over to Wales, Andrew the Fridge Watkins tuning in as well. Nice to see you. Give you a wave. I better give Maria a wave as well over there in Sweden. Amanda Gregory, give you a wave as well. Brett Weston as well, give you a wave. Emma Marco in Essex, nice to see you tuning in as well. Also Barry as well in Essex as well, nice to see you. Janet Ferrant is also tuning in. Julie Halloran is also tuning in. I hope you've got your brother. Make sure he checks this broadcast, all right, if he's not already seen it. Nice to have you checking in. And don't worry, I've put Gary into my show tomorrow, my live show tomorrow from here. I'm going to pop him in the Golden Vault with the #1 record from the day he was born. And I've also popped a tune in for him on my Dance Anthems Carnival special, which is out this Friday night, okay? Anyway, she says, good morning from Manchester, Julie says as well. Tim Crystal says, good morning from a cold but sunny day in Oxford. I'm so pleased about that. Julie Meldrum is watching. Heather Flynn is watching. Ian Booth says, good morning. Please, would you give a shout out to Bob Baker from Cornwall? Thanks, Boothie. Yes, I must say hello to Bob Baker. I know Bob watches the broadcasts on Twitter. Just to remind you, not only am I going out as I am now on Facebook, but I go out on YouTube, I go out on Twitter, I go out on LinkedIn. Do I go out and anywhere else? I can't think of anywhere else, but I'm going out on numerous platforms, all right? So anyway, Bob Baker, thank you. You always comment as well about the broadcast as well, and it looks lovely where you are down there in Cornwall. It brings back memories of Newquay, it does. Anyway, Denise Williams is tuning in. Dave Coldwell over there, United States, is tuning in as well. Matt Williams as well. Chris Baker says, morning mate, I know you had a few problems at the airport yesterday getting back from the UK, and you're getting the bus back to Zakynthos this morning. Anyway, I hope you have a safe journey back. Bit weird they bringing your flight forward like that. That's a bit odd, that. It's probably because you're a Brit, you know, that's maybe, I don't know. But anyway, nice to see you back safe and sound, mate, and you're back here as well on the island. Hopefully later on today, you've been tested that many times, you're probably the cleanest man on Zakynthos at the moment. Mark Palfrey is tuning in as well. Amanda Gregory has an update on the pups. They're all off their drips and at home with their foster. Two are getting well, just TLC now, tender loving care to build their strength up. And once again, please, can you sign the little petition which is down below somewhere? Just scroll down, you'll find it, so that we can get this silly local legislation amended to make the job of the people in the animal charities easier to do what they do, which they do at public donation, their own expense, not taking any money from the state with what they do. despite promises of aid from a municipality that has never come through, please sign that petition for them. And also, I put another little thing down yesterday with the old purple hearts for Alzheimer's awareness. I was asked to post that by a friend, which I did. Thank you to all those people who've just put a little posting up for Alzheimer's awareness for anybody. Because the thing with Alzheimer's, I think Alzheimer's is worse than cancer. At least if you have cancer, you've got kind of some fighting chance of trying to kick it. However, with Alzheimer's, once you've got it, and there's no going back. And all you can do is slow it down. And I think I dread Alzheimer's more than what I dread cancer, that is for sure. Anyway, Andy Johnson is watching as well. Jerry Coyle is watching. Marie Hadelberg says, good morning, have a lovely day. She's over in Sweden. Chris Clark is watching as well. Kevin Bell is watching. Christine Wildridge is watching. Graham Chisholm. Oh, Graham Chisholm is watching as well. Nice to see you checking me out, Graham. Ian Daly as well over there in Broadstairs is tuning in as well. And also Les Hardman, good old buddy, Raffridge buddy Les Hardman tuning in as well. Maureen Els from around the corner. She got that chicken in the freezer. She's tuning in as well, bless her. And Amanda says, thumbs up. Thank you for that, Amanda. And David Lowry is watching as well. Right, that's it from me. Got things to do today, stuff to sort out. You take care. Have a safe day. I'll keep my ear to the ground, and we'll see what transpires through the day. I'll be back with you again tomorrow. Ta-ra.